welcome back. Today we take a second look at chapter 11 of John Owen's book, The Mortification of Sin. Here Owen continues to help us battle sin by the power of the Holy Spirit. And one of the things that he was encouraging us to do in the first part of the chapter is to stir ourselves up, that we would have a heart that longs to not sin. Now, when your heart gets to that place, you may begin to do things, seek after the Lord, seek help from the Lord. And one of the things you may be consider doing is to fast. That is to fast and to pray, to fast and to pray that God would change your heart and to help you not sin anymore. And Owen has a warning or a bit of advice for people who would do such a thing. He thinks it's a fine thing to fast, but you must not trust in fasting itself. Rather, you must trust in the Holy Spirit. See, Owen wants it to be clear to us, because the scriptures make it clear to us, that fasting, the act of fasting, will not make sin go away. It doesn't have any power in it at all. Fasting has no power. The Holy Spirit has power. So if you fast, and when you fast, you should fast not depending on the act of fasting to put away sin, but you should fast trusting in the power of the Holy Spirit, who may, in fact, as you fast and as you seek Him in prayer, act powerfully to put away sin. And it's the Holy Spirit that will give you the victory over sin, not your act of fasting. The next thing he wants you to do is to think about the occasions of sin. What are the times? What are the places? What's going on? Is it the end of the week? Is it on a Friday evening? Is it when you're with these particular friends? What are the times in which you sin? Think about the occasions in which you sin. Make notes of them, so that when you see yourself entering a place in which you oftentimes fall, you will, at that point, act to remove yourself from the temptation. Many people find the patterns, find the ways in which I know when I start doing this, I know that's when I will sin. And he warns you, if you see yourself in an occasion where you think this will likely lead to sin and you keep going in it, then you're toying with sin. And anyone who will toy with sin very likely will in fact sin. So make a note of the times when you're most tempted and try to make no provision for the flesh, make no occasion for that sin to happen, and then put the sin away. And that brings quickly to the third point. The third point is that don't give sin even a second of your time. Immediately stop as you see yourself moving towards sin. If you find yourself in a situation where you're heading towards sin, don't even give it an inch. Don't even give it a second. Immediately turn from that sin. Put the sinful thought out of your mind. Pray that God would help you to not fall to sinful temptation. See, the longer that you allow yourself to engage in sinful thoughts and sinful desires, the more that you'll find yourself having a hard time hating the sin, that you actually, your heart, the more you think about it, wants to do it more. The more time you give it, the more your heart wants to do it. And so it works against you battling sin, because it almost sets your heart more on the sin the more you think about it. And so we need to recognize that we cannot toy with sin. We cannot even toy around with being tempted for a period of time, but put the sin away immediately. Get yourself away from the situation. Get your mind on something else. Think on those things that are pure and righteous and holy. And in this way, we'll find that we have help in battling sin as we take immediate action to put away that sin, all the while, again, trusting in the power of the Holy Spirit to help you put sin to death.